everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Hakuoki Kyoto Wins. We are on Nagakura Shinpachi's route. We're at Mount Tenno at the moment, and Hijikata just caught up with us. So we'll just go on and head back into the scene. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. Before Hijikata could continue, we heard the sound of men approaching, and Nagakura appeared, with the bulk of our detachment trailing behind him. Nagakura stopped for a split second when he saw Hijikata, and then he creeped into a sly grin.
Well, we went to the top to have a look, but sadly every last one of those bastards already cut themselves wide open.
My heart fell as he explained. I wasn't sad that they killed themselves, or that the Shinsengumi hadn't been able to arrest them. Only that more lives had been lost.
That bastard got in our way. Sad to hear we didn't get to bring them to justice, but that's the way of the warrior, yeah?
That's what Nagakura says, but I'm not so sure. I thought about how I felt about Nagakura's words. I'm not sure I agree. Do you really think so? If they didn't die here, maybe they could have survived and eventually done something good with their lives. Nagakura gave me a puzzled look. I think he was taken aback by the ambitiousness of my phrase. I even surprised myself a little.
Well, in my book, dying in a battle is better than committing suicide. At least I think so. But rather than surviving and being put to shame, they could die as warriors. That's better to me.
I don't know, it's a tough call either way in my opinion. From my experience with the Shinsengumi, I could see why Nagakura's perspective made sense. As the daughter of a doctor, though, seeing people close to the brink of death and treating illness and injuries, I couldn't see suicide as an option. To take your own life, though, there's so much more to life than fighting, don't you think? Nagakura frowned lightly at my suggestion, then sighed as he continued.
Maybe you're right. So long as you're alive, you might be able to figure something out.
His expression shifted quickly into a light-hearted smile, and he scratched his head.
All right then. I'll never be like that. I don't ever want to let you down in that way, Chizuru. No matter what happens, I will definitely survive.
Thank you. He was just talking about how honorable it seemed for the Choshu to commit an honorable suicide. It seemed, though, he empathized with me. I think he agreed because he understood my point. Even if it was all a display to make me feel better, it worked. I appreciated his gesture, to take the time to see my side of things. So we returned to Mount Tenno to meet back with the others. On the way back, Hijikata and the men began plotting their next move. It looked like there was still plenty for the Shinsengumi to do in Kyoto. Oh, skipping time. January 1865. Oh, I think I know what this is. I think this is another Zuisoroku scene. It's gonna be a cute one, too. A few months had passed since the Hamaguri Rebellion, and the season had changed from summer to winter. I woke up to a numbing cold pain. I opened the sliding door to see outside, and the sight before my eyes overwhelmed me. Whoa, snow? The yard looked as though someone had tossed a thick white blanket over everything. It was my second winter in Kyoto, but I still wasn't accustomed to its painfully cold weather. Still, cold was hardly a reason to avoid my work. That particular day, I was assigned cooking duty. Well, that'll warm you up. First, I would need to gather water from the well. After that, I could begin my other preparations. It's so cold. My fingers were already beginning to go numb, and the wooden floor beneath my feet felt like ice. But I couldn't turn back, so I gripped my bucket tightly and quickly scurried to the kitchen.
Hey, Chizuru, up early as always.
Oh, good morning. His voice sounded as bright and relaxed as ever, completely unfazed by the cold.
Did you see the snow? I thought it was cold enough already, but now this. Somebody up there's got a sense of humor.
He looked down at my bucket.
Wait, if you got a bucket, are you out making breakfast in this cold? Look, I can go wake up the other guys if you want some help, okay?
Oh no, I'm fine, really. I'm in charge of breakfast today. I want to do this. I gave him my best smile, then turned and hurried toward the kitchen. Once I finished cleaning up after breakfast, I went back to my room to sew.
Hey, Chizuru, got a minute?
Ah! I jumped nearly a foot into the air as Nagakura appeared from nowhere. Make some sound first, man. I'm sorry, it would be nice if you could say something. Or knocked before you came in.
Huh? Why? Why would that be a problem? Were you busy or something?
No, not exactly. Just, what if I was doing something private? He tilted his head to the side and looked at me with a blank stare. Well, let's just say you walked in while I was changing or something. That would be a problem. A little jump.
Ugh.
His eyes went wide. You really never thought of that, huh?
Oh, right. Yes, that's right. I guess that's a possibility, huh? Sorry.
Oh no, you don't need to apologize. Nothing bad happened. I racked my brain to change the subject. Oh, that's right. You said you needed something?
Oh, yeah. Well, I wanted to ask you a favor. Could you close your eyes?
What? Why?
Come on, just do it. This'll just take a minute.
Huh? I waited for a second and I closed my eyes.
Keep them shut, okay? 1 second.
The floor creaked as he set something heavy down in front of me. What on earth?
Okay, it's ready. Open your eyes, Chizuru.
I let them flutter open. And sitting in front of me was a large brazier, a few red coals glowing inside of it. What's this for?
Huh? Oh, well, he said you had to go get water and stuff even though it's cold a lot lately, right? I saw your hands were getting pretty cold this morning, so I went and got this.
That's so sweet! You got this for me?
Well, yeah, of course. You're like my sister or something.
Not what I wanted to hear.
So, go on, warm yourself up. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. Nagakura and I sat down next to the brazier to warm up. Gradually, I began to feel the heat seep into my body, and feeling entered my stiff fingers.
Man, there's just something different about the cold in Kyoto. Just gets in your bones, you know?
Then you should put some clothes on, man. I thought you said earlier that it seemed like the cold didn't bother him at all.
And then in the summer it's hotter than an oven. How is that fair? I sure miss Edo.
Were you born there?
Yup, Edo boy through and through. My first bath was in the Sumida River. Maybe that's it, huh? I never could get used to the way people talk here, like they got something stuck in their teeth. Although, I guess Ito talks that way too, and he's from Edo.
The moment he mentioned Ito, I saw Nagakura's face twist as if he just tasted something sour. You don't like Ito, do you? Who does? Besides his brother.
I know he's a smart guy. And we need smart guys if we want the Shinsengumi to get bigger.
He looked down at his cupped hands, blew into them, and rubbed them together over the brazier.
But ever since he showed up, Sanen's gotten worse. He's depressed almost all the time. And Kondo's getting a big head from all the ass-kissing, sorry to say, he gets from Ito. So, as a result, seems like he can't see the big picture.
I looked down at the floor and folded my hands as he continued. Everyone there cared about the Shinsengumi, but it was starting to feel as if they didn't all have the same ideas about how to succeed. Oh, I just remembered something. I had to change the subject. You said you don't like the way people in Kyoto talk, but you love Kyoto women, right? I don't think it has to do with Kyoto. Probably women from anywhere would be good. He coughed in surprise and snapped his head over to look at me quizzically. I'm sure he likes Edo women too, after all. I'm from Edo.
Well, I only visit the red light district to, gather information and,
That's not what you said the other day.
You know, your timid act works pretty well, huh? You're sharper than people realize, Chizuru. That's because you're from Edo, isn't it?
Look at you blushing away. Maybe. I don't know. That seemed to be enough, though, and Nagakura and I laughed over our memories of Edo. Fireworks over the Sumida, visiting the Kabuki Theater, or watching the animals from the west at the foot of the Ryokoku Bridge. The longer we spoke, the more we discovered we had in common, and so we kept talking as I lost track of time. Eventually, during a lull, I happened to glance down at the silently burning charcoal, and something occurred to me. Oh! I turned and looked up at Nagakura. While we got this out, should I make some mochi? Mochi is delicious.
Mochi? You have some?
Yes, Kondo snuck me a little. He said it was left over from New Year's, and I could eat it whenever I wanted. I'll prepare it right away. Aw, how generous of me to share it with him. Because I wanted to see him happy. I headed toward the kitchen as quickly as I dared. I left it in the kitchen? What if someone else took it? As soon as the mochi was ready, I scurried back. Huh? Nagakura's eyes were closed, and his head was wobbling back and forth. Nagakura? Are you asleep? Instead of waking up, however, his body tipped sideways and he slammed down on the floor. Then he started to snore. Man, he is a really heavy sleeper if just plopping down on the floor doesn't wake him up at all. I guess he was tired. I was about to put a blanket over him so he wouldn't catch a cold when...
Are you there, Yukimura? I need to ask you something.
Oh yes, I'm here. I could hear Shimada from out in the hallway. I slid the door open quickly and stepped out onto the chilly floor. Oh, what do you need?
Oh, I'm looking for Nagakura, but I can't seem to find him. Do you know where he is? He was on patrol last night, so I thought he might be sleeping, but he wasn't in his room.
What? He had to be exhausted. He needed to sleep as much as he could. Shimada, is the business you were talking about urgent?
No, not especially. Oh, I just had something I need to give him.
Oh, I see. Leave him alone. Let the poor man sleep. I wanted to let Nagakura sleep a little longer. I can give it to him later if you want.
Well, I don't mind, but...
He gnawed at his lip for a moment, but Shimada seemed too busy to give it too much thought.
If it's not too much trouble, then yes.
He seemed relieved, and he handed me a small bundle of paper. I watched Shimada leave, then stepped back into my room. Nagakura lay there just as I'd left him. I sat down and looked at his sleeping face. I want to see his sleeping face. Even though he'd been up all night, he was worried enough about me to find a brazier and bring it all the way to my room. The brazier warmed my hands, but the warmth felt in my heart came from somewhere else entirely. I pulled out a blanket and gently laid it over him. Oh, I want to see it so bad! With that done, I sat and returned to my sewing. After a short while, Nagakura turned over in his sleep, and his back bumped against the brazier.
Huh? What?
That impact seemed to have jolted him awake. Bumping into the brazier wakes him up, but falling over and hitting the floor doesn't. He looked dazed as he blinked his eyes open.
What? What's going on? Did I fall asleep?
You did. You were really tired.
Oh man, did I start drooling?
Of course not. You were a perfect gentleman.
Did I snore? It was loud, wasn't it?
Oh, be all self-conscious. No, you slept very peacefully.
So, did you see me sleeping?
Well, it was kind of unavoidable. You were right there after all. Well, yes. I mean, you were in my room. I coughed awkwardly and looked away.
Oh, well, no point in trying to act cool now, I guess.
Why worry? It was cute. I can just see it in my mind's eye even if they didn't give me a picture. He grinned. I wanted to say thank you. I know you had the night shift last night, but you still took the time to do all this for me.
Huh? Well, hey, don't think I'm too nice. I just wanted to warm up too, you know.
But you shared it with me.
Don't need to thank me.
I just love him blushing. It's so adorable. He blushed sheepishly, and I couldn't stifle a giggle. For some reason, I don't know, just the bigger, more muscular they are, the cuter it is when they blush. Oh, I know. Let's make some mochi. I bought some over. You make it sound like you just had the idea. I bought some roasted soy flour and soy sauce. Take whichever one you like.
Awesome! It's always best to start with soy sauce.
His eyes shone with excitement. I set the grill in front of him and placed the mochi on top. He practically jumped up and down in anticipation.
Oh man, I hope it's done soon.
It sounds like a kid.
When I was a kid, I could never wait for mochi to cook, so I'd always just end up eating it raw.
Oh god, that sounds horrible. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I wanted to give him what Shimada bought, but I didn't want to ruin the moment. Well, you can give it to him when he's leaving. So I figured I can give it to him after we eat. So for a while longer, we watched the mochi cook. Well, we could talk while we watched it cook. Later that night, I changed into my bedclothes, cleaned up after the fire, and crawled into bed. Thanks to Nagakura's brazier, I was much warmer. It was so nice of him. I thought back to the comfortable afternoon we'd spent together and drifted into a pleasant sleep. Oh, it was so cute! Chapter 3, February 1865. Let's see, we'll probably have some forwarding to do. I usually do at the beginnings of these chapters. Here I must return to my room. And again go back to my room. Ah, we get to talk to Nagakura. I'm glad he's still alive, though. Oh, I kind of want to know what would happen if I said, no, it must have hurt Nagakura too, but that's not the option we have to choose right now. Maybe I can check that out another time. I'm glad he's alive, though, even at the moment. Nagakura's eyes widened.
You're so right. We need to be thankful that Sanen is with us, even for the moment, huh?
Oh.
Chizuru, thank you for letting me realize the most important thing.
Nagakura chuckled, then nudged his fingers under my chin. Oh.
I guess that's what makes you a doctor's daughter. The way you approach things is different than, say, me, who thinks about fighting everyone.
His statement kinda had nothing to do with me being a doctor's daughter, but the sentiment was cute. Knowing Nagakura was a little more cheerful.
Sorry for making everything all sappy.
Oh, it's no problem at all. I'm happy just knowing that I was of some use to you.
Oh, you're making me blush. Thanks for staying up so late. I'm going to go on another round, so make sure you get some rest. Oh yeah, why did you come out here anyway?
I had a hunch people were still awake, so I figured I could fix some snacks for everyone.
Well, now isn't really the best time to eat. I'll eat a whole heap in the morning, don't worry.
I see. Then please be careful.
Alright, well, I'll be on my way.
With that, Nagakura walked back to the Maikawa house. There wasn't much time left until morning, but I did my best to crawl into bed to get some sleep. Probably be skipping again. At this choice we have to stay this time. Have to be where my honey is. I'm going to stay here.
Yukimura, you don't understand. What do you hope to accomplish by remaining here?
I know that staying here might not be the smartest idea, but they called me a demon and told me to come with them. I still didn't know what they meant. I needed to know the truth. I don't think you're going to find out here and now.
You have a reason to stay then, and conviction. I can admire that. Unfortunately, I have my orders.
What, are you going to carry me? Force me?
Just as you must remain true to what you believe is right, so must I.
What? Yamazaki reached for my arm, ready to take me with him by force, but he really was. The gun Shiranui held was pointed toward Yamazaki.
Hold on there, buddy. The princess says she wants to stay, so she stays. You gotta learn when to let a girl go. Gah.
With his spear, Harada tried to pierce Shiranui in the heart, but Shiranui easily dodged his strike.
There are times when quick decisions are important, but Shiranui's short temper can be problematic.
Quite, but you seem uninterested in stopping him.
Saito and Amagiri maneuvered nearly into striking distance of one another. Saito drew his sword and attempted to strike at Amagiri.
Not so easy.
Amagiri saw through his movements instantly and dodged the incoming blade.
Damn it, who the hell are these guys?
Hijikata screamed, his voice filled with frustration. I didn't move. Makes as much sense as the other options. I knew leaping into the fight would do everyone, including myself, more harm than good. After all, if Okita and Heisuke couldn't manage, how could I? Just then, someone came into my line of vision.
Don't worry, Chizuru.
I won't with you around.
Whoa, what is this? You're trying to get in my way? You should be more mindful of your life, buddy.
As he spoke, I could see Shiranui loosen his gun from its holster. He finished tossing a smug grin at Harada, who returned it in kind. Despite all of Harada's bravado, too much distance between them remained, with the gun's advantage.
Huh. Come on, it doesn't take a genius to figure out you're screwed here. No way you can close this distance before I put one in ya.
Harada, I must tell him to watch out. I can't have faith in him until his own route. Watch out!
Hey, come on. Don't look too worried. Leave it to me.
In a swift motion, he swept his foot across the ground, throwing up a small cloud of dust.
What the?
He threw a small rock straight at Shiranui's gun.
Rock beats gun? Try again, smartass. Thought you had me, huh?
Huh, nice.
God, Shiranui's so hot. Why doesn't he have a route? Shiranui dodged the rock, and in that moment where his gun wavered off its target, Harada charged. Ah, really hot standoff. They froze, mirror images of one another, each with a weapon poised to deliver a killing blow. I could see their intensity rolling off them in shimmering waves, like heat from a roaring furnace. Even their faces were mirrored, each with a playful grin, as if they were only friends having some fun.
That gun's not just for show, right? Why don't you pull that trigger and put me down?
Huh, isn't it obvious? I don't want some chump to hear it go off and come spoil our fun.
If the spear tip moved even a fraction of an inch, or Shiranui's finger slipped on the trigger, that would be it. I froze, watching who would yield or die first. It was Shiranui who lowered his gun.
Well, that was fun. Let's do this again when we got a little more time, okay?
Huh. Sorry, seeing guys isn't really my thing.
Fortunately for me. Both men stepped back, their fight clearly finished.
Further fighting serves no purpose. We will do nothing more than attract unwanted attention. What, you talking to me? Come on, I know when to leave a party. The one that doesn't know when to stop is.
Shiranui looked toward Kazuma as he spoke.
Yes, our suspicions have been confirmed. We've no need to stay. This time we only came to verify truths.
Do you really believe I'll simply allow you to walk away?
Then call your men. You three may survive, but how many of your soldiers will we slaughter before we escape? Would you spend all their lives so easily?
Kazuma and his companions were no doubt powerful. His words held arrogance. We knew he spoke the truth. They left silently, fading into the darkness, but as he did, Kazuma spoke to me one last time, his red eyes piercing me as they glared.
I will return for you, soon.
I look forward to it, in the next route. He was far out of arm's reach, but his words nearly brushed against my cheek, cold and threatening. A shiver ran up my spine. I crumbled to the floor.
Whoa, are you alright, Chizuru?
I'm fine.
You really suck at lying, you know that.
Just like you, apparently. He's always saying he can't lie.
You look really pale. Sit there and rest for a while. If you can't walk, I'll carry you.
Oh, that's so sweet. I want to be carried by Sanosuke. Thank you. For a while, Hijikata stared deeply and harshly toward the darkness.
Kid, you got any idea where they were after you?
Only what they said. I hesitated. They had said I was one of them. Kazuma had invited me to go with them. Had he been telling the truth? I didn't know. I'm not sure. There was really nothing more I could say. Word of this incident spread through the ranks of the Shinsengumi quickly in another form. In another form?
Hey, I heard there was an intruder. So what in the hell were the captains doing? An intruder? I haven't heard anything. Are you sure that information is true? So what are you saying? I'm lying? I didn't say you were lying, but maybe you misunderstood something. If it really happened, I would be the first to know. Since I wasn't in the know, then it must be fake information.
Really, you're that infallible?
Is that so? But if it was true, you're going to pay for it.
Supposedly, they stormed to Hijikata's room, but he told them the incident of the intruder was a misunderstanding. The only people that were notified of Kazuma's infiltration were only a handful of the captains. So, in the eyes of the public, the infiltration of Nijo Castle didn't happen. Alright, skipping. So here we must say, yes, please. And sadly, again, it's not any of my business. Huh, Okita. And at this choice, let's see. They're interested in me, so we got something new. Why were Kazuma and his friends after me? He'd said that I had the blood of a demon, but...
Why is he after you anyway?
Come on. There's only one reason a guy'd go to this much trouble over a girl.
What? What is it? What is it?
Oh, come on, take a guess.
I bet you anything he's in love with her.
What? His response was surprising, to say the least, and it seemed to come from nowhere.
Why are you so surprised? Sure, you're just like a boy, but you really think a smart guy can't figure out the truth? The demon guy's a jerk, but he's sharp.
No, he's not in... That's not the reason.
You might be the only person who feels that way, you know.
Why are you doing this to me? Please, stop. What, flattering you? My voice faded into a pathetic whimper.
Gee, Sano, why do you gotta bring your dirty thoughts into every conversation you have?
What's dirty about that? There's nothing dirty about love.
Don't you think now isn't the best time to be talking about this kind of stuff with her?
Hey, I'm not bringing my dirty mind into anything. I'm just saying I call it like I see it.
There he goes.
I wasn't sure what to say, but my face started to feel hot all of a sudden.
Knock it off. Back to work, you two. Also, stop talking about Yukimoto's gender when other warriors are around to hear it.
Yeah, careful, guys.
Yeah, I know.
Whoa, time flies when you're having fun, eh? Will you be okay here by yourself?
Yeah, I'm almost done, so I'll be fine. I looked up at the sky. The sun began to set. I need to hurry up and finish my cleaning.
Cheer up, Chizuru.
Harada gave me a friendly clap on the shoulder. Suddenly, my heart felt a little lighter, and my mind was a little less troubled. Thank you. I rolled up my sleeves and took a firm grip on my broom. A little encouragement goes a long way, especially when it comes from a guy that looks that good. April 1866. April 1866. Relations between the shogunate and Choshu were turning sour quickly. The shogunate began to gather forces with the intent of asserting dominance in the domain, later becoming known as the Second Choshu Expedition. Although it didn't directly affect the Shinsengumi, Kodo and Ito were called to accompany the shogunate's envoy on its way to the west region. With the chief gone, Hijikata assumed charge of the Shinsengumi. Soon after, unrest grew amongst the Shinsengumi men, who were becoming frustrated with Hijikata's strict leadership.
Ugh, what the hell is up with Hijikata? He's been riding us way harder than usual.
Oh, actually, we're gonna cut and break here, because I think this is another Zuisoroku scene. So, yeah, I think it'll be good to keep this scene all together in its own video. So, we'll break here and pick this scene up in the next one. Hope to see you there or in some of my other videos, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.